morning, Ken. Reseller nope.
It's it.
Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 73. Good morning, Ken. I think I got it right that time.
You'll get it right. This is what, your 8th episode or something? How many episodes?
Well, I've only introduced 3, so in my defense, we're still newbies here, but
yes. So
the episode number's not really important, though, is it?
Well, kind of. A little bit. It's not overly important, but
I'm not even sure the name of the show is important at this point. As long as people are here watching it, I'm happy.
That's true. But we are the Reseller Clickbait Podcast. I am Ken, SSKPromo, Mr. Bill, and with me is Cory from Grams and Pops Vintage. Just Pops.
Just Pops.
Just Pops from Grams and Pops. Hey, happy Halloween Eve, Cory. This show will be out Monday morning, so...
Eve, right?
Well,
a few Eves in there.
Well, because don't they call Halloween as also like All Hallows Eve? And so this would be
Probably.
All Hallows Eve. But
Eve.
No,
well, it is Tuesday, right?
Tomorrow, yeah, Halloween is on Tuesday, and this episode is on Monday, but we're actually recording on Sunday morning, so happy Halloween, All Hallows Eve. I think 3 Eves. Eve to the 3rd power, or I don't know. All Hallows Eve cubed.
Halloween is soon, is what we're trying to say.
Yes, it is tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Man, Cory, I don't know. This we're probably just gonna phone this episode in. I would say
we're not prepared.
We were not prepared. We didn't have a chance to have our pre-show meeting. We usually like to get together on a Thursday, usually a Thursday evening, and we talk about topics, what we might talk about on the show. And we did not have our pre-show meeting this week.
Well, we kind of
did. Why is that?
We kind of did. It just wasn't about the show, was it?
No, it was not.
We did get together Thursday.
We did. For the Holiday Live tour.
Holiday Live, yep.
The first episode.
Way more fun than a pre-show meeting, I'll have to say.
Oh, it was a blast. So if you didn't get a chance, if you haven't checked out the Holiday Live Tour Halloween edition, go over to our YouTube page, the Reseller Clickbait Podcast, and click on the live tab. That's where you'll find that episode and last year's episodes as well. But we had, it was a blast. We had Joe and Nicole from I'd Flip That. They're the ones, they do the Reseller Game Show Showdown, or the Reseller Showdown Game Show. Or I can't even remember exactly what that is.
They're just in Minnesota, across the border from me here, so they're up north here with me, getting cold just like we are. Exactly.
It's the episode was just great. It was fun. It was the live chat was popping. It was hard to keep up with. That's a whole different thing, doing a live show on YouTube and trying to follow along with the chat. If you're just interacting with the guest, it's a little easier, but kind of wanting the chat to be a part of the show as well, and just keeping up. And man, the comments were flowing quickly. We had really good audience watching the show.
Chat. It was a busy chat.
A busy chat. Everyone was engaged. We gave away some prizes. We did a trivia game. Which what did you think of the trivia game, Cory?
Well, it was confusing at first because I think we had a false start there.
Yeah,
and I wasn't sure what was happening.
I kind of jumped the gun and pushed the start button a little bit too quickly.
Premature start there.
Yes, I've that's a whole nother issue that that Ken has, and we'll talk about
premature start probably isn't terrible. It's the ending you got to worry about.
Exactly.
No, I really liked the quiz part of it. Like after the show, we got to talk about a little bit, just briefly, about what it looked like from their side, which I hadn't seen. But But from our side, what we put on the screen of them actually answering the questions, of kind of a horse race situation there, where you see how fast they're answering and what they're getting right and wrong. That made the show. I mean, that part of the show was really interesting. Interesting. It was fun.
Yeah,
see and who was going to take that spot.
We've been busy, so busy with stuff. I mean, basically, right after the show, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Cory has been a busy guy, so stick around to find out what Cory's been up to. But yeah, we didn't have a chance then all weekend to really kind of have a show debriefing or a recap or something that we had an opportunity to talk about, highs and lows of the show. So let's take up all the people's time and talk about it right now.
Huh?
We'll just do that now. We'll just do the debrief of the show right here on this episode. But super fun. I think that it went well. The trivia quiz that we did, it was kind of like a live where people could log in and do, it was all Halloween. It was all related to Halloween activities or maybe movies or different folklore, if you will, about the Halloween season. So if you did participate in the live, or you were there and did catch the live, let us know down in the comments. Did you enjoy the quiz? Planning on doing another one of those during the Christmas holiday live tour. So let me know if you like that.
Some of the questions on the quiz were pretty good. We got to go through them just real quick after the show with Joe and Nicole, and some of the answers. Well, some of the questions and the answers that went with the questions were actually really good. I mean, they were funny to see after the fact. We didn't get to see that during the show, so
yeah,
that was a lot of fun to do afterwards.
And it was fun to call the action on the leaderboard to see who was moving up and who was moving down. But I want to throw a shout out to Keith over at Vintage Sports Flips.
Yep,
he was the winner of the trivia challenge, I guess we'll call it. And he chose to take he could take two prizes. We had an eBay gift card or the Reseller Clickbait podcast prize package, which was, all centered around, us, things that represent us, and good prize package. It had
that prize was pretty stacked in there. It was a pretty easy choice, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could get the eBay card. It's just, that's guaranteed.
Just money.
A guaranteed, money. And it wasn't like, you were going to buy everything on eBay. It was a $25 gift card, which was a decent price. But, man, that price package, not only, did you get you got stickers from the show, from the Reseller Clickbait podcast, and from Cory's Grams of Pops, and from SSKPromo.
Got a Mr. Bill.
Took home, where's it at? I can't find the other. Yeah, there was a Mr. Bill right there. Mr. Bill doll. Original OG headshot right there. What the heck did I just get all over me? Oh, I still have my wig. That's what it was. I still have my wig that I was wearing for Retro Ken. A little bit of vintage. And it was over there. And I got there was still hair, I don't know, off of that. Just got all over me. It was, but yeah, that was fun. And then we also gave away some other prizes. Candy, mostly. Trick or treat. Candy, we did some different,
mostly bad for you stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was like the holiday diabetes show. We were just giving away. But I want to give a shout out then to all the people that were winners. We did some a couple of questions, trivia questions. We did just a couple of challenges where you could throw up an answer or throw up a number in the chat. And so we like to involve the chat and give them a quick give everybody a chance to win, even if you couldn't log into the show. So Archie Biscuit Butt over there, he won. And here's a note. I'm going to be on Kat the Nurse Flipper's show tomorrow night, Halloween night, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Biscuit Butt Archie is co-guesting with me.
That should be a fun show.
Oh, it should. I'm looking forward, and I think we got some costumes that we're gonna do, and so check out Cat the Nurse Flipper if you want to see me and Archie Biscuit Butt talk with Cat and Rob from Pickin' and Punchin'. That should be cool.
I will be stuck in town on Main Street with Teresa handing out candy to all the kids tomorrow. At least for about 3-4 hours of it anyway.
They do that event actually on, because I think we talked about that last week, how you're downtown.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked when you guys were talking about the Halloween, like towns having Halloween on different days than Halloween. When we were kids, we would have revolted. Like we would not have tolerated that. Halloween is Halloween. It doesn't matter what day it lands on.
That's what one would think. But around here there was
Christmas on a different day. Who does this?
Christmas is every day for me anyway. I'm a Christmassy guy.
Is a season.
Oh, that's what I'm excited about. Now gonna move into the Christmas season after Halloween. So after next Tuesday, I'm going to start. You're not going to get into it that quick.
We have Thanksgiving yet.
Well, I know, but kind of after Halloween for me really starts the Christmas season. And what I'm looking forward to, I don't have the box here. I had bought, it was kind of a retail arbitrage buy that was these aroma diffuser, or like a essential oil diffuser.
Smelly stuff?
Yeah, but it was like a waterless thing. It would have helped had I had a visual, but I didn't know I was going to talk about it. But up to now, I have had like peppermint smell in there, or an essential oil. So you come in the back door and you kind of get hit with this nice hint of, well, I'm talking about me using it. I said retail arbitrage because it was at a place and they had these on clearance. And so I bought all that they had. I think they had 9 of them all together. And also they were clearancing out some pine scented essential oil. And so I loaded those up with some, I loaded those up. Then I listed them, and I did a cool AI photo background for them. But it's kind of like a holiday bundle where you get the oil diffuser and some pine. And so I'm looking forward to, I've been just waiting. So after Halloween, probably on Wednesday, I am going to switch over my peppermint to pine so the house can start smelling all piney and Christmassy. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Sounds horrible.
I'm like I say, I'm just a Christmassy guy. So, but we do have Thanksgiving coming up in between that, and I love Thanksgiving. And
nobody's allowed to touch a Christmas light until I get my turkey. That's the rule here.
Okay, and then
there will be no Christmas spirit in this house till after Thanksgiving,
till Friday. So, well, I'm gonna start getting you over the next few weeks. I'm gonna start getting you in the Christmas spirit, my friend, because I just get all hyped up, ramped up real early.
I get happier and happier the closer I get to Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
And then after that, we could go full Christmas. But Thanksgiving comes first, and nobody's going to mess with that holiday.
And we will have a Thanksgiving holiday live tour. We're working at some guests for that. But I want to finish the list here. Shanna from over at Simply Shenanigans was also a prize winner. She was a double prize winner. She won 2 of the contests because she follows along with the podcast and follows along with my show and knows that my favorite Halloween candy is Smarties. And so in that trivia, she took that home. And Liz, the nerdy picker, with just a lucky guess.
She got the good candy.
She got the candy corn, or if you were playing the trivia, the chicken feed was what candy corn, the original candy corn was called chicken feed. And
that's my
so,
favorite candy, and I didn't know that. That was the first I had heard of that.
oh, and you know what? I just totally, there's a falsehood. I have to correct myself. Shanna did not win that contest. That was Amanda. Fireball Flippers.
She won the Smarties?
She won the Smarties.
Well, I know Shanna won 2. What did she win? Oh,
yeah,
she got the Skittles and the Reese's.
No, Archie got the Skittles. Shanna got the Reese's and the Kit Kats.
Kit Kats. There you go.
See, we were giving out all kinds of. We can't even confuse. There were so many prizes. There was so much fun. We can't even remember.
We were actually there. We just don't remember things.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind getting ready. But Amanda actually follows along. Well, Shanna does too. Follows along with the show. But Amanda won the Smarties. Liz won the candy corns. Shanna, Archie, and of course the big winner of the prize package was Keith from over at Vintage Sports Flip. So go check out any of their channels. They're always, those folks are always in lives, always supporting everybody else. Big supporters of our show, and we appreciate them. But
who ended up getting the gift card? The eBay gift card?
Nobody won that, but I may have sent it along to somebody. Spoiler alert, Joe and Nicole sent you a nice little package, and everybody else.
Did I just ruin it?
You did. You just spoiled it. Well, I didn't have to tell you that I sent it to them, but I'm still waiting for Archie to send me his address. But everybody else, I've already shipped out your prizes. If you're listening to this, you may get them. You may get them today. They might show up today or tomorrow.
Recorded this first and then shipped out so that we could be sure everybody was getting the right packages, because it sounds like we might not have.
Oh no, it was all shipped correctly. I just, right in the heat of things here, I read my list.
Memory goes first, they say, huh?
Oh, it does. But man, it's been just a whirlwind. So again, appreciate everybody participating in that. And if you want to go check out that episode, hit the live tab on our page, and we would appreciate that.
I did learn something on that show too. I'm not sure we like the costume ideas of doing a show like that in costume. That Chucky costume was, one, it was very hot. And two, it made me look like I had no neck at all. So going back and rewatching it, I was like, who is that guy? Like, it was just like this the whole time. I looked like Chris Farley in a wig.
Did you return the knife to the kitchen? Yes. To the kitchen drawer. It's not still sitting there beside you.
The knife is back.
Okay.
That way I don't get yelled at, and I certainly would have. So,
but you were a busy guy, man. That day with that episode.
Yeah.
But earlier in the day, you made a huge buy, well,
I didn't do anything.
Yes.
That day we had planned on doing that episode for over a month. We knew it was coming up. So that day, all we had to do was go to Sioux Falls, which is about an hour away, and pick up our costume and get ready. Just spend the rest of the day just getting ready for the show. Yeah,
nice leisurely afternoon.
Yep. Got to go sit down with the grandkids and have lunch, and that was supposed to be the day. But while we were there, Teresa actually bid on 2 storage units and won the auction for 2 separate storage units that we had 72 hours to get them empty and clean. So she surprised me with that news.
So you had to start. Now, how far is Sioux Falls from where you're at?
It's about an hour.
Okay, so an hour away from home, and Teresa on a whim buys 2 storage units. What size units were they?
There was a 10 by 10 and a 10 by 20.
Ooh.
And they were all the way to the ceiling. Like, they were packed clear to the top. So they were big.
Good stuff. You don't have to do any spoilers, because I know over on your channel you're going to be showing some of that.
Honestly, we don't know yet. We know there was, when we found out she had the unit, all we had was her car in town. and we hadn't even been over to look at them or anything. So we figured rather than go an hour home and an hour back, we just rented like a 26-foot U-Haul while we were there in town that same day, which we knew we had 3 or 4 hours before we had to do the live show.
Uh-huh.
So we were going to try and fill a 26-foot U-Haul before the show and get it home. And we did. It took us about 2 hours. We filled it.
Yeah.
But as far as what we filled it with, we really don't know. There was one unit that was like everything you touched, the smaller unit, was just kind of really gross. Everything is full of dog hair and regret and just
it's full of dog hair and regret.
we threw that in there, and then we started loading the big unit, which is primarily, once we got all the boxes from the front of it, is primarily furniture, like really nice, expensive furniture. Like nicer than furniture I've ever owned. I've never bought furniture that nice.
Was that all pretty clean though?
That unit was super clean. Like everything was in, they had wardrobe boxes, and you open them up and they're full of suits, and everything is just, you could tell they cared when they put it in there.
Yeah. I just don't understand on the storage units that, you're saying this one is nice. It's a 10 by 20 with high-end furniture and, suits and stuff. I just don't understand. Of course, people have different circumstances, but how do you just leave that? How do you just default on something and leave it?
There's personal papers up in front in one of the boxes that we found sitting on top of the wardrobe boxes.
Okay.
And it looks like they had a moving company move them down from New York and put them in that unit. And I suppose they were supposed to buy a house here and then empty that unit. And maybe they just didn't show up. I don't know. So they ended up losing the unit, but we couldn't even tell it was furniture when she bought the unit. She showed me a picture afterwards, and I was like, okay, it looks like a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
But the whole front was just floor to ceiling boxes. The back of the unit was primarily furniture.
Okay.
So you couldn't really
you couldn't see that in the pictures.
Yeah. The only good news is I know the furniture that's in there, if we can figure out where we can stage it and take pictures of it, I think it's going to sell well because it's really, really nice furniture. Even the beds are, like the mattresses are in plastic. They look brand new. That it had one of the adjustable bed things. So the whole base of the bed has like 7 adjustments to it, like with a remote. And
so where do you bring this to? I mean, do you have a storage unit that you had to move it to, or how do you handle 2 storage units at one time?
Like 2 old people who shouldn't handle 2 storage units at one time, basically. No, we have storage space here. We have a whole empty building here that's a 40 by 60 that we basically just backed the truck up to, and we just filled it. So, of course, at floor height, it's when you take a 10 by 20 and a 10 by 10 that are stacked 8-9 feet high. Yeah. And you start putting them in a 40 by 60 building, but putting it one layer, it fills up that building pretty quick.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, and so we had been talking about this a little bit. Not only that schedule that you had of, going to go visit the grandkids in Sioux Falls, and then all of a sudden you've got to unload a truck, but then you've got the holiday live tour show to do.
We actually pulled in with the U-Haul to the house here, parked it in front of the shop, and then ran in, and Teresa scribbled some stitches on my face, and I threw on that Chucky costume and sat down with about 5 minutes to spare before we started the live. So I was still dying.
You still had to unload the truck after the show. Like that evening, like 10 o'clock at night, you're out there trying to, and so you had the 72 hours to empty these, but also an impending snowstorm in your area out there in South Dakota. First of all,
we didn't have any time frame to get it out. We had to get it all done basically that next morning. So,
and I want to apologize to the listeners for my use of foul language right there. I did say snow. And because we all know that Ken's not a big fan of winter. Actually, I was working the other day. I'm going to do a new video segment, on the show here. Ken complains about winter, so that'll probably bother everybody for the whole rest of the season here. But look for that coming up pretty soon.
Santa curses the snow. It just doesn't seem right, to be honest. I know that you're a warm weather person, but it don't seem right.
Well, I don't think Santa's at the North Pole like the whole season. I think it's, he's probably like up there, during the important winter months. The elves are working away at toys all year. They have to let Santa's probably down in some tropical location just chilling for the
He's over in Maui.
The off season. Yeah. That's a good question. Where would Santa hang out in the off season? If he wants
to
the
source
movie
for Christmas, he's probably in Ohio.
This is true.
I've heard it's a good sourcing spot.
Well, it is. Listen, for me, it's going to be, hopefully, winter and sourcing and all of that. Not to change tangents, because I want to get back to that storage unit buy. In my area, you've probably heard me say this, there's a new Goodwill bins opening, and it's like 5 minutes
Next
from my
door.
house, maybe 7 if there's catch a traffic light or something like that. And they are opening up.
Donut.
Yes. Wait, donut. Who brought donuts? You have donuts?
Well, if you head to the bins, you got to stop for a donut. Any excuse.
Let me see. Is there any donut places? Well, there's a grocery store that I would pass. I don't know if there's any place to get a good fresh. Wait, there might be a donut place right on the corner of the street that they're at. I'll have to check that out. I'll check that out on Wednesday morning, because November the 1st, which is Wednesday, they're opening these new bins for the first time. And so I am super excited, planning on getting there early. I don't know if there's going to be a line. I don't know. I would imagine that there will be, because they've been pitching it pretty heavy, and people that don't have bins in their area are probably all going to flock to here to see what it's about. But as with any new like grand opening or opening of anything,
stuff.
Yeah, there should be really good stuff. Hopefully they stock the bins with the good stuff and don't put it in their shop Goodwill website or whatever.
I know whenever they do one of those Amazon bin store spin-ups around here, they always do that first couple of weeks is always like the best of the best stuff. Like everybody's getting great deals and telling everybody else, and then it just goes to the dumps after that.
Yeah, I want to be there, for this grand opening, when they're opening first one in line if I can, because I'm close. But it's going to be, what I'm waiting for is after that first initial, newness wears off in a couple of weeks, when we really start to get into the colder winter months, to have a place to go right around the corner. And hopefully, I don't know what they'll have. When I see people dig through bins at other bin stores, there's a mix of hard goods and there's a mix of clothing and shoes. And I don't know how this location will organize stuff. They used to have kind of a mini bin sort of a thing that they did pop-up sale. And I had done some videos from that earlier on my channel. And they just called it a pop-up sale. It wasn't, they didn't have scales where they weighed everything. And it was, all the items were three items for $2 or 75 cents a piece. So you just go and grab a shopping cart and fill up. And it was mostly all hard goods then. They didn't dump all the clothes in. There might be a bin or two of clothes and a bin of shoes, but it was mostly all hard goods stuff. And
it'd be interesting. Well, it'd be interesting for you. I couldn't imagine myself going to it. I'm certain I wouldn't.
So I'm excited about that. So that kind of got off on a little toot there of you had to move.
Are you going to try to wear your GoPro when you go the first time, or are you going to go the first time and check it out first?
I'm not sure. I'll probably take this stuff with me. I'll probably have it. I wear my GoPro around my neck on kind of like a harness thing or whatever. I do have the magnetic thing that I use, but I've never been a big fan of the way that it tugs on my shirt. Speaking of my shirt, see today I got
pretty pink.
my pink on again today. Although we are at the end of October, it is October is normally Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so ladies out there, go get your tests, go get your screening, set up an appointment, do something. Early detection and is key to a lot of this stuff. So just a little thing with my bright pink shirt here.
Done.
Go get them squeezed or whatever happens there. But I don't know. I've never participated in one of those tests, but
that's not a topic we'll dig into too
No,
far.
it is not.
I think we're there.
But please go. Get some screening, get some testing done, and hopefully everything turns out well in those tests. But that early detection is key. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, I have that GoPro that on the magnetic. I don't like the way that it pulls on my shirt, so I have like this necklace, sort of a harness thing, and I can have that just under my coat because I'm pretty sure it'll be cold. It's supposed to be colder. This not as cold as what you've got. You had
it's chilly.
Snow. Yeah, you had snow this week.
Yep, it's 21 degrees outside right now, so it's chilly. I'm gonna have to scrape the windows just to get out of here today.
I'm not sure. Have I mentioned that I don't care for winter? I'm not sure if I've said that
I didn't
yet.
know that about you. This is news.
But I will. So I'll probably wear the GoPro underneath my jacket anyway, and then I can just unzip the front, pull it open, hit the button. That's what I've done before.
I'll give you a tip on that magnet one because we wear the magnet GoPro things too.
Yes.
They're on those lanyards. If you zip that thing up and shorten it so that the lanyard keeps the magnet up here, it won't pull on your shirt anymore.
It doesn't pull on it? Okay. Yeah, I got to I wore it a few times and I didn't really care for it. And the necklace was easier for me to like take on and off and to work with and to adjust. I can adjust, an angle real quick of the camera if I need to, moving it up and down. And so I've just always preferred that for my own filming. But who would know that? Because, I never put out any content like that. I've got tons of footage.
Cover it up with your beard now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old Santa beard coming in.
You have to part it and put it in pigtails so that the camera could see through.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Look like a Viking.
Is it? That's good. But what the heck were we talking about? We were talking about your storage. That you had to move your storage unit in a snowstorm then. So you get done with the holiday life tour.
Yeah, we did get it done before the snowstorm. So we got done, I think we got done loading at just after midnight or so that Thursday night after the live thing. We set an alarm and we got back out of here at 4:30 in the morning, Friday morning, to head back to Sioux Falls. And we loaded it up.
Wow.
We got them all cleaned up, checked out, brought the U-Haul back here, unloaded, and then had to turn around and bring the U-Haul back to Sioux Falls to drop it off before 1 o'clock.
Wow.
So we got all that done, and then we were able to go get our deposit back for the storage units and get back home before the snow hit.
So it only took you 2 loads in that 26-foot truck. I imagine that thing was packed.
It was packed. Scary, because some of that furniture you're tempted just to take the two of you and just go brute force it and get it done as fast as you can. But when we got in there with that big storage unit, and some of that furniture was so heavy that the two of us trying to move it together, we could barely even slide it. Like we couldn't even lift it. So we had to get a little creative with leverage just to get some of that furniture on it, let alone off of it. There was a treadmill in there still in the box. That thing must weigh 700 pounds.
Wow. And just you and Teresa, that's it. Just the two of you did all of that. You need some hired hands That's what you need.
Yeah,
Or
we need to choose our timing better. We could have had the kids help, but it was such a rush thing. There
yeah,
was no time.
yes. So we're gonna pin that one on Teresa. But
100%, that's on Teresa.
hopefully that there's some money once you really get a chance to go through that. And that's a good winter time. You've got that building filled up with all this inventory.
We threw a bunch of like mouse poison and stuff around the aisles between stuff so that we don't get mice in it. And
Yeah.
it's basically got to sit now. I know there was a bunch of electronics boxes with like a big Bose system, and it was in the box. And there's a
Nice.
PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 2 that were both in the boxes. So there is some stuff in there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we really don't know what's in it. I mean, it's going to be a mystery to. There was a bunch of artwork, like canvas painting artwork with what do they call them? Certificate of authenticities on the back.
Oh, so you might have some money in there. Now, did that come out of the bigger unit with the furniture? That it was the nicer stuff. Well, that's good.
Yeah, the only artwork that came out of the other one was mouse droppings and.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like dogs playing poker or whatever. You weren't.
No,
that's not the type of artwork that you had, or it maybe a big velvet Elvis or something.
It'd be nice. Some of those dogs playing poker ones actually go for decent money. So.
They do. Yeah, that would be good. Well, man, I hope so. That's a good winter thing. That, I mean, at least you can start going through that. Are you going to do some content of that, or did you film any content, or was it just a whirlwind of activity?
It was
picking
such
it up?
a rush thing. We didn't have a chance. We talked about going home and getting the GoPros and doing like we did last time and film, like pulling it out and seeing what was in it. And
yeah.
But with 72 hours and a snowstorm coming and 2 hours to get back home and record the holiday live, we didn't have a minute to breathe, let alone think of content. So we just did the work. And
is this building that it's in on your property, is it conditioned? Is it heated at all, or can you heat it up?
No. Well, it's got a giant wood burner in it that's like the size of a car, so we could it's big enough to burn pallets and stuff in. So it is. Okay. I mean, we can warm it up to work in it.
Okay.
But it's not climate controlled. It's just closed in.
Okay.
So hopefully nothing in there is going to freeze and break.
Yeah. That I'm excited about that, though, to see some of the finds. You've already mentioned, just in a few boxes you open a Bose system and a PlayStation 3, and so it sounds like, at least from the one unit, as long as it's not all smoky smelling and too much dog hair and mouse and stuff on it.
We'll get most of our money back, I think, just on the furniture. The hard part about the furniture is we used to have a spot in our current eBay shop where we had a rug laid out and a wall painted behind it where we could bring dressers and stuff in and stage them and take pictures, and we could get rid of them on Marketplace really easy. We don't have anywhere to do that now. And the furniture we got, I mean, there's like an entire bedroom set in there, like a 9-piece bedroom set. Like, how do you stage that and get photos of it? I wouldn't even know where to start. So,
you probably
figuring out how to photograph it.
Yeah, that's probably going to be individual sales if you can't stage it. Of course, you'd like to move it all out at one time. And now, will you do that Facebook Marketplace? Is that the plan for?
That's the plan. For that, I'm not shipping that. That one dresser in there. That took me and Teresa and some storage dollies and some leverage to even move that dresser. I think that dresser probably weighs 300 pounds. Like it's. There's one dresser in there that we couldn't, physically, we couldn't lift it up. Both of us had to get on one end just to tip it up to get dollies under it.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy booger. So we'll probably just do pictures of one piece of it at a time and then put it all together in one listing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope that works out. I hope that works out well, that you find some real gems hidden in some of those boxes, and that although you might be a little bit come on, Teresa, what are you doing to me buying two huge, because just one 10 by 20 is an undertaking, and then to have another, what did you say it was 10 by 10?
10, yeah.
10 by 10, yeah, that's That's a big undertaking. But again, it's
The
going to
good
give you
news
that
is
inventory for the winter. And
Teresa is sore and miserable enough after that big rush of trying to get it here and get it unloaded and get the U-Haul back that
yeah.
I think she's miserable enough at the moment that she's not anxious to do it again. So I'm hoping she
Okay.
learned something here because we didn't need the inventory. We literally just did a video on our channel talking about the fact that we have enough death pile to get through the winter, we believe.
Yeah.
And she just bought enough inventory to make our death pile look tiny. So
Okay. So, well, hey, that's, sometimes that's a good problem if you can, maybe go cherry pick a few pieces, start getting some of the return back from your investment. That's
I
the
think
thing,
we could sell
that
that bed platform. I think we looked the bed platform up when we had to move it. And I think we could sell that bed platform and almost double our money on the 2 storage units. And then everything else is free.
is, yeah. Oh,
So,
man, that'd be great. Get that thing. See, now you need to get out there in the shed, in the
yeah, I'd like
snow,
to.
in the snow.
The big
Did
snow.
I say I don't like snow? But you have snow on the ground right now, right? You
We
said
do. It snowed for about 4 hours and it left just a white peppering on the ground because everything was melting as it fell and the temperatures were dropping the whole time. But I think the ground's still too warm to hold much snow. But
Yeah,
there's a little bit out there.
You were telling me that you had sent me a picture. Here, wait, maybe we'll throw it up right here. There's some snow on the ground, just a dusting, but still,
That
the
was
ground
4
looks a
hours
little more
worth.
white than it does green right there. So that's interesting too. I was looking at
that
that
needs to
big
go
building.
away.
Is that big building right there? Is that the one that has the inventory in it?
That's our normal eBay shop. That's where we record our videos. The
Oh.
one half of that is our eBay shop. The other half is just tractors and snow blowers and stuff like that. So
Okay, man, that's a good size building. And so that inventory is not in that one. You have another building.
We have another 40 by 60 that you don't see in that photo. So
Wow.
we've got plenty of storage. Well, we had plenty of storage. We no longer have plenty of storage. I do have a 12 by 20 building, like a garden building that's new, sitting out on the other side of the property that we don't have anything in right now.
A 12 by 20 garden building. Corey, that's almost as big as my whole house. 20 by 20. And I'm being serious. My house is not that big. I mean, it's bigger than 20 by 20, but not that much bigger.
Well, we have joked with the kids about moving the grandkids into that little building out there and just put a mini split in it and have the grandkids here on the property. It'd be way easier for us.
Yes. Oh, for sure. You wouldn't have to travel any.
Make it a guest house.
Yeah, I gotta get it. That's my next thing. I'm almost done. I know I keep talking about this office thing that I'm doing out in my garage, but a mini split, that's my next thing that I have to put in here before winter really starts to set in. I do have a heater in that area right now that keeps it comfortable, and I can get it cranked up to 80, 90 degrees in there if need be, but right now I'm just kind of keeping the chill off of it because it is getting a little colder around here. We had a really beautiful week this week, and contrastly this week is going to be not so much. Still don't have snow, but it's going to be some of the highs in the 40s this week. So yeah,
in the 40s. I wish we could hit the 40s right now. Well,
gonna
actually,
move across.
I've got to go after we record this. I've got to go out with a little hatchet and break open all the chicken waters and get them switched to the electric ones because everything's frozen solid outside. The poor chickens are mad as hell.
Winter's here. The chicken water is frozen in South Dakota.
So we've got to switch them over, get the electric heater waters out, and that's a whole process. So we should have done it while it was still warm.
Yes,
there's never enough time.
It turned pretty quick. Well, yeah, you've been busy. Everybody's been busy. So yeah, we didn't. That's pretty much been it. Doing more different sort of stuff. Don't usually have an episode like, say, the Holiday Life Tour. That was an extra thing. You're not every day. You're not buying 2 storage units And so we didn't really prep too much for this show.
We got super busy over the last week, and I think we could start to see it in our eBay sales. Our eBay sales have actually started slipping a little because we haven't been hitting our goals for listing.
Yeah.
So that's been going downhill a bit.
You definitely can't phone it in when you're doing your reseller. You know, hey, you do a podcast. Every now and then you just, phone it in and kind of wing it. But in your reselling business, especially when you're full-time and you're using that as your main income, you can't really slack, especially this time of year. We're talking about the holidays and the holiday life tours and stuff. In the fourth quarter, before the fourth quarter, you're kind of starting to gear up and maybe doing a little more extra listing and getting stuff going. And then the fourth quarter gets here and those sales start, moving along. Hopefully your sales are moving along a little quicker and you're moving along that inventory. So you're having to maybe list some more to keep the numbers up, keep the inventory in your store for people to buy. But with the holidays and just all that goes on, it's easy to get distracted and just not feel like working or maybe having a special event or something coming up. And
there's a ton of stuff to keep up on in fourth quarter. That's for sure.
Yes.
I think we're in the beginning of fourth quarter, which gives you a little bit of a sense of false security going into fourth quarter, or it did us last year. And I think it is this year too, because things really start moving really well, even if you're not listing a ton.
Yeah.
So that you're still, I think you just get that artificial bump of the fourth quarter. So it kind of gives you that sense of security that I can slack off a little bit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it doesn't hold all the way through. I mean, if you start slacking off, eBay will too. eBay will follow suit. So
yes. If I think when we were talking there, you had said when you quit trying, eBay quits too. And I just thought that was a good quote or a good way to put it. And so, just, stay focused, maybe build a draft bank if you do find yourself with some extra time to list and some things to throw out there. And, everybody does their business and their stuff, differently, but maybe if you, I know sometimes if I try to list, consistent number of listings or consistent dollar amount a day, if, build a little bit of a draft bank and maybe if you normally list 10 items a day or 20 items a day or whatever, maybe list 15 and save 5. But if you do that same work each day, you have that opportunity when you do have something special come up, or you bought 2 storage units and you can't really work that day because you've been trying to unload and load and travel.
How do you juggle the eBay store? Say when we went to Cincinnati, when we went over to the reseller rally.
Yeah.
When you're taking 2 days off or something like that, what do you usually do to prep for that as far as keeping the eBay store going? Are you running straight out of draft?
Well, okay. Are you asking me what I do, or are you asking me what one should do? Because those are 2 different things altogether. In my eBay advice, I'm a do as I say, not as I do sort of a person, just because I know what needs to be done. What I'm going to say is, to be honest and upfront, for the Cincinnati thing, I didn't do anything different. I didn't list the whole time that I was there. I didn't have a draft bank ready. And to that, my sales were bad. When I got back from that, I didn't have as many sales, and it takes a little bit when you start to get back into your regular routine to ramp that stuff back up. So, but what you should do, again, I shouldn't tell people how to run their business, so I'm not saying this is what, but it is helpful if you're going to be off, if you do have that pre-planned time off or a vacation, or there's going to be some holiday stuff coming up that you want to spend time with family or whatever, in some travel, try to get those extra items listed when you are working. Put in a little bit of extra effort to list a few more items than your normal daily totals that you might put out. However you do it, by number of listings or dollar amount listings.
That's kind of what we're thinking too. For vacations or like the reseller rally, we just built more into the bank, into the draft bank, and we listed the whole time we were gone, and it went well. We had
now. Do you schedule those listings, or each day while you were there, you just went into your bank and said pop, 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 and put some new ones in?
Every morning or evening, we would just drop however many we needed to drop to hit our goal.
Yeah,
but we didn't. I mean, the holiday or for the vacation, the reseller rally, we had 3-4 months in advance, so we had bought our tickets. We knew it was coming. We planned for it. It felt a lot more organized with these holidays coming up. We've got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all just right in a row.
Yes.
We were finding out really quickly we did not plan ahead for them.
Okay.
And we're not prepared for them. So,
okay.
I know we've got different Christmases planned with different parts of the family and stuff like that. We're going to want to take off, and we're not even close to
being ready
seems
for
like
that.
There's no time to get ready now.
And this is really kind of your first full year as a reseller of what you're basing off of. You had started in basically the fourth quarter, yes,
September,
last year,
right in September, at the beginning of fourth quarter.
So you're having this full year to kind of analyze how this whole process works, and so if you take, you'll be able to take that number and those experiences.
This is the first year that we've actually, like this holiday season, this Q4 is the first Q4 we've had to say this is our income, this is what we're living off of.
Yes.
Last Q4 we were still ramping up, and it was all learning the business, and this year we're now living off that income. Like, we have to keep it going.
Yes.
It has to make a certain amount, so it can't shut off on us. So yeah, this is our first real Q4 holiday blitz type of experience that we've had to go through, and it's a learning experience.
Yeah, that it is. That it is for sure. Yeah, I'm always a guy that's behind on everything. I still got summer stuff that I should have listed, and in the death pile. But hey, there'll be another summer next year, and I'll get that listed. And I'm still listing tons of holiday stuff right now, Christmassy sort of things, and that should have been listed already. But one would think I would learn. I'll really be interested though when we get past this year, because I know, Cory, you're a little more analytical about stuff in the numbers, and because you've been in a number of different business scenarios and different types of businesses, and you've had to run those, and some I'm sure were really successful for you, and some were like meh. And you get in and out, you move around. So I'll be interested, and that's probably going to be a lot of focus in the first of the year, when you really get those numbers going, especially the New Year's live tour, holiday live tour show will be a lot about some of that sort of stuff. But it's been an interesting week. It's been a busy week for sure. Trying to maintain the business and do all of the extra activities, either on YouTube or in your case,
the crazy of the holiday season is finally here. I'm feeling it.
Yes.
Like I'm feeling that crazy holiday season pressure now. So,
and it is,
but we don't have
coming
to worry
up
about
quick.
sourcing again. So that takes that off our plate.
Yeah, well, true. Well, not only because you had that big death pile to take you to the winter, and now you have a whole, all these storage unit stuffs, but it's also, we had talked here, last episode or before, about how sourcing season is kind of over as far as yard sales, garage sales, that sort of, outdoor that we all look forward to and make a lot of our money, at least in our areas. That's over. Other areas, it's ramping up, and you are going down those other avenues now for thrift shops, and in your case, buying a storage unit.
I know it'll bother Teresa, like I know it'll kill Grams not to be out at garage sales and sourcing, so she'll be looking for something to buy somewhere. Like
Yeah.
that's the part she really, really enjoys. For me, I couldn't be more relieved. I'm so glad sourcing is over for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm ready to buckle down and clear some of these piles and get our shelves organized and do the business side of the business.
Yeah, agreed. It does help when every weekend, you're pushing, you're out there, you're building those stores up, getting all those items. It is kind of a welcome break and but then it also ramps up in the sales and you have more shipping and you have more, just the business changes constantly, throughout the seasons and I'll get all whooped up and excited again. Starts to get spring to get back out there to the yard sales.
5 minutes to like sit down and like maybe catch up on Quantum Leap or something. Like just take a break.
Now you're talking. See, and here we are at the end of the show, and you're just now bringing up Quantum Leap.
That's where it belongs.
That's where it belongs. And get to watch a little more content from people. Get to see some of my friends. I did. Speaking of that, I hate that this is towards the end of the show because I did want to acknowledge our good friend Kristen, a rural squirrel, over at the Let's Do Lunch podcast and also her channel. She had a loss in her family of her father this past week, and our thoughts and prayers and stuff go out to Kristen and her family during this time. And it's difficult, right here, especially going into this time of year. So Kristen, we love you, and we're looking for peace and calmness in your family, and I think we'll end on that, Cory. Unless you got any recap that you want to go over, we'll call it an episode. You're done. Cory needs a nap. What Cory needs is just a nap. Although he just got out of bed like about an hour or two ago.
I'm gonna go grab some cocoa wheats and get the day started here.
Yeah, I'm gonna head next door for some breakfast and get the day going. Try to get some stuff done. Work in that office a little more and enjoy. Watch some football, of course.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna watch any football, but hopefully we'll talk to you Thursday. We could plan the next show a little better.
Yes,
I'm sure this one was terrible, and we apologize for that.
Yeah. It is, but they're not all going to be winners.
Can't have all of them be good shows.
They can't all be winners, kid. What movie? What movie?
Is it Sandlot? I don't know.
No, that was Cory, we talked about that earlier. He's not a big movie guy. He's not going to get a lot of the movie trivia or a lot of the movie things that I throw at them. That would be from the movie Bad Santa, where he eats all the kids.
I've watched the movies. I just don't. I don't get the quotes.
He replaces the kids' chocolate with stuff like candy. Well, like he puts a candy corn, which is Cory's favorite candy. He puts in candy corn. He's like, well, they can't all be winners, kid. But there you go. Oh, maybe that's this episode is bad. Maybe that's what we should call this one. They can't all be winners, kid. So,
yeah.
All right, Cory, have a good week. We will talk soon. Everybody, we appreciate you checking us out. If you made it this far in the episode, be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and comment. We appreciate that as well. And we will catch you next week on the Reseller Clickbait podcast.